Hello to the beautiful Scorpio. This is Brandon with Well, here to bring you your energetic reading. It's September. We're in full Virgo season, about to leap into Libra season here soon. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I apologize for the break, but I had to get some things right in my own energetic self so that I bring my best to all of you. I also had to kind of figure out what it is that I want to do on this channel, and for those that are new and returning, I've kind of decided that I purposely was making my readings a lot different than what you usually get from your average reader on here. I don't do tarot readings, so that's not the kind of reading that you're going to get. I do energetic chakra readings. I do spiritual enlightenment readings. I do things that are helping you build towards your higher self rather than any one aspect of your life, or, you know, the usual kind of thing that you usually get from these kinds of readings. But I am here to help you in every aspect of your life that I can. So the way that I've decided to do it is a hybrid of what I used to do. I used to do a weekly dedicated video, and then a weekend energy video as well. But I like the format of the weekend read, so I've kind of decided to bring a balance to the force in that kind of way. So I'll be taking that kind of reading, and the way I'm going to do it is 3 cards for the single Scorpio out there, 3 cards for the Scorpio that's in a loving relationship, and then we'll do 3 for the Scorpio who's kind of neither here nor there. You're not sure where you stand, or maybe you're just playing the field right now. But we're going to get a little bit of information for all of you. You're all Scorpios at the end of the day, so you can take information from any one of the 3 groups of cards, and it should all be very congruent to what it is for you guys right now in the energetic field. So let's go ahead and get into it. I hope you guys have been having a fantastic, I hope you had a great August. I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks here, so I hope you had a great finish to August, and I hope September has started out nice and strong for you as well. Look at that. Okay, I think the whole reading might have just flipped out. Okay, so without further ado, the first card to flip out for my beautiful single Scorpio out there is keeping those emotions nice, good, and balanced. As Scorpios, you know you guys can bring it. You know you can make somebody feel the sting, pun intended, of whatever it is that you're trying to get across. So let's make sure that we're applying just as much of that sting as we need to, if it's applicable to somebody in your life. But let's make sure that we're not allowing that stinger to flip in and tag oneself up and have you in a bad way. You're going to want to make sure you're maintaining balance in your emotions, so that you always provide not only others with that sweetness, but yourself as well. That's what the sacral energy is about, is what allows you to love beautifully. Okay? And the next card up for my wonderful, beautiful Scorpio is the Faith card. That card is the color of the crown. It's the color of the Sahasrara energy or chakra. And for you, Scorpio, right now, I believe that is saying for you to have faith in yourself. If you've been building towards something and you're not sure if it's going to be successful, the only way it will be is if you have that assurance from within you to do it. Sometimes you can't worry about or allow somebody else to push you in the right direction. Sometimes it takes you to light your own fire and to sing yourself into the stratosphere, the ionosphere. And the only way you're going to do that is by having faith in whatever it is that you're trying to pull off, that you're wanting to do for yourself or for somebody else, or for all of you together. Have faith in yourself, Scorpio. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, be it something with your career and you're trying to make something happen there, you can do it. If it's something for yourself, to where you're trying to build yourself up or bring yourself into a new stage of enlightenment, you can do this. You have all the gumption in the world. Our Scorpios out there are strong, tenacious. You know how to get stuff done, Scorpio, so let's allow that. Allow ourselves that. You are your own inspiration. And if I can be that inspiration, allow me to be that inspiration. Hell yeah, you got this. Go out there and attack it. Make sure that whatever arena you want to call your home, you plant your seed there. You put your roots there, and they know that you're there to stay because it's your home. Also, for my beautiful single Scorpio out there, we're going to keep our heart chakra in mind and balance. That works hand in hand with your sacral. That's why they're right next to each other in this energetic field. But you want to make sure that your heart chakra is it's what people see first. Yeah, sure, we got this outer shell, and I know you're beautiful, Scorpio, so they see your beautiful outer shell, and they're like, is that all there is to them? And no, you got so much more, and you have way much more if you allow your heart chakra to open and be poured into from source, from the universe at large. So let's make sure that we're allowing this into ourselves so that we are the beautiful rainbow that cast in other people's sky. The first card up for my Scorpio in love, in a loving relationship, insight, Ajna energy, third eye chakra. You want to make sure that you're fully aware of where, like that word came out really super weird. I'm sorry about that. But we want to make sure that we're fully aware of everything in our lives. Especially if you're in union with somebody. It's not just your energy that's part of the equation, but your partners, and if you have kids, those little goobers as well. So you have to make sure that you're using your insight so that you can see beyond what these eyes can do. The third eye goes out around the world and comes back into your forehead. That's where the third eye goes and comes back to always. It always sees beyond what we can compute with our natural processes. So let's make sure that we're allowing that insight. If you got to take a little bit of time to yourself, if you're only still about 5-10 minutes away from everybody because your house is always crazy, then do that. Find that 5 or 10 minutes and say, hey everybody, don't bother me for about 5 to 10 minutes. I need some time for me. And no matter how small that time is, time is fluid. Sometimes a second can be more impactful than an entire hour. We all know that. Life can change in a second. So let's allow this for ourselves so that we can build and mend ourselves if we need healing. Because that's what the ajna is about too. It's about being able to go inside so that you can pick out or find the roots of your own problems and maybe help solve some of the external stimulus as well. The next card up we're staying in this third eye energy. Visualization. We're making sure that if things are problematic right now between you and your partner, you want to visualize what kind of relationship you want to have with them. You're going to do that by using that insight, that time with self, to really go inside and say, this is where I want to be. This is how I want my partner to react to me. And we're already there. The work is already done because I desire it. And that's how you manifest what it is that you want in your relationship into your actual life. Is just by visualizing it and experiencing that through your third eye. Saying, this has already happened. I already have this. It just had to be course corrected, and I'm the captain of that ship. So use that visualization to your advantage. They're looking out at the moon in order to create that which they desire through the mind. The next card up for my wonderful, beautiful, fantastically stimulating Scorpio is your throat chakra. Like I said, for the singles, we want to make sure that we're not stinging anybody who doesn't deserve it, or that we don't want to sting. Sometimes you want to give somebody a little pinch to let them know that, hey, I see you. That's how it is sometimes. But your throat chakra your Vasuda energy is going to be what allows you to communicate properly, to put out there what it is that you want in your life without forcing it, without pushing it, without pulling it in any one direction, but by saying, hey, you want to come with me? That's what your Vasuda energy is going to allow for you, is that just putting the powder on the donut. Okay, that's a horrible analogy, and I apologize for it. But it's too late. I can't take it back. But we want to make sure that we're speaking our visualizations, what it is that we desire in our union, into it, so that it can be course corrected, guided in to the smoother, calmer waters that we all want to swim in. Now, for my complicated Scorpios, I know how it is. I know sometimes, you just want to be out there and do your thing, but sometimes you just aren't sure what somebody thinks about you or how you should think about somebody else. And that's what these cards are for. They're not to say, hey, you're wrong in what you're doing and blah, blah, blah. No. It's to say, hey, maybe you can think about it differently or go about it differently. But if you want to uncomplicate your life, here you go. So the first card popping up for you guys is the Money card. And this card can speak to a lot. It speaks to generosity. Like I said, it's a color of the sacral for a reason. Like, money can provide sweetness to not only one's life, but to others as well. So maybe for you, Scorpio, is not what you can do for yourself, but what you can do for your fellow man. Sorry. Maybe it's something to where you can do something for somebody else financially soon. Maybe you're going to have an opportunity to provide that rainbow in somebody else's sky. Maybe you're going to have the ability to do something for somebody that they can't do for themselves for whatever reason, and help them get themselves back on track. Themselves, whatever. We want to make sure that you're allowing, especially if you find yourself in a wonderful position financially, is allowing you the gift of giving to others. It is a gift to be able to do that for somebody, and that could be what you're called on to do. If money is a bit tight right now, Scorpio, it's calling for you to be careful with your finances. Watch your spending. Make sure it's not telling you to be frugal, like to the point of Scroogeness, but maybe you can spend your money in a better way, something that is nourishing not only for you but for somebody else if you do have to spend it. There are smart ways to have a good time. You don't have to go out there and buy the bar. You know what I mean? And also, for my complicated Scorpios out there, let's make sure that our personal boundaries are set appropriately. This card is the color of the solar plexus energy, the Manipura energy. And the reason that it is because your solar plexus is your expression of self. It's your Vasuda, the voice, is your expression of your solar vocally, and your heart vocally. When it comes to personal boundaries, you want to make sure that you're, one, blocking out anything that doesn't need to be there, especially if they're complicating your life. But it also means setting them appropriately so that you can allow things in as well. You don't want to block a blessing from coming into you. You don't want to say no to something that you should be saying yes to, or giving it a time to go maybe, and coming back to that. You want to set your boundaries appropriately. If somebody is making you feel a certain way, especially if that way is low vibrational, then you need to limit their ability to affect you. No matter how much you may desire them, no matter how perfect they may seem for you, obviously they're not if they're complicating you. And if this is you with others, You need to set those boundaries so that you're not confusing anybody. You don't want to play with people's heart, because that can cause immense disturbances in the force. So let's make sure that we're setting our boundaries appropriately, so that what is allowed in gets in, as long as it's willing to step over the fence and come in and get curious about what's on the inside. But also blocking in anything that can come in and tear up your harvest. Okay? And lastly, finally, for my complicated Scorpios out there, our communication, baby. That's one of our most powerful tools as human beings, is the way that we can communicate with our fellow humans. And especially when it comes to our interpersonal relationships, you being honest about how you feel about something is a doorway for some people to come into your lives or to exit from them. So let's make sure that we're using communication as a tool in our chest, and not something that is to our detriment, something that always screws us up and pulls us back because we just think we have no chill. Everybody is able to control themselves, they just choose not to. And sometimes people can let stuff fly that they really might not have meant to put out there, but they did because they just didn't have any self-control. But it takes realizing that about oneself and being willing to try to change that within one, so that we communicate in a way that's, nourishing not only ourselves, but those who we speak to. Well, I hope I didn't keep you beautiful Scorpios for too long. I hope that was helpful. I hope that provided some insight to help you keep stepping along this spiritual enlightening path. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you guys who have been with me for a while. Like I said, I had to really figure some things out for myself and do some self-healing on my own, because my life isn't perfect, believe it or not. But yes, I'm glad to be back with you guys. I'll try to make sure that I'm not allowing any of that negativity into my life, so that it doesn't take me out this energy that I try to bring to you guys through these videos. But until then, I look forward to speaking and spending time with you again. Thank you to your spiritual team and mine for bringing us together, and let's continue to rock on. I love you guys immensely. Peace and namaste.